Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Doggo333 and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich. Now, last time we stepped into the wreck of the Kaiser, we went ahead to the country of Mongolia to investigate the new China update and just see how that all turned out. And we had some fun with that. We beat back the Maklik, took back a fair bit of land, and put ourselves in a position to be a sizable regional power. Now, since then, strangely enough, update 0.11 came out. I know, an update that doesn't take half a fucking year to come out. I was surprised too. Not only that, but the new DLC, La Resistance, has come out for Hearts of Iron 4, and that adds like spies and shit, something like that. So I figured, might as well hop in and check out the new game. Now, the new update changed up a few things, namely, it adds a new focus tree for the Dominion of Canada, kind of revamps the Russian tree. I'm trying to remember what else it does. I know it does some other stuff other than that. I think it gives a focus tree to the country over here that didn't get one. I think it's the one located like right over here. Just some other stuff. I forget exactly. It's been a while since I've taken a gander at the patch notes. Also, it changes up the dynamics in Italy so that you can actually do a game there and unify Italy, at least with a shot in with some chance of doing it without, you know, starting a second fucking Weltkrieg. So that's nifty. So you might be thinking, who are we going to be playing as today? And Russia got a new focus tree, but we're not going to be playing them. I already played as Russia before, did the Russian Republic. I might hop into there one of these days, sometime. But for now, we're going to be hopping in to something kind of similar to Russia, but not quite. It's like Diet Russia. Transamur, led by good old Alexander Kolchak. Now, in order to pull off what we're going to be trying to do, I need to go ahead to custom game settings and just do something real quick. I just got to look down. Revolution, Civil War. We have to enable this in order to really be able to do anything. And then for the rest of this, we only have some options. Canadian political path. There's a lot of stuff that can happen, which is pretty interesting, but we'll just have to sit back and see what happens exactly. So, it's been a while since I've taken a look at all this, actually, so if you wanted to take a gander, there you go. Yeah. So, anyway, Transamur. Gonna go ahead, start our game. And let it load for a second. Yeah. Just needs a second to get it up. There we are. So let me go ahead, get me timer out. Yeah, that works. Kaiserreich Beta 0.11.1. This mod is designed with the assumption that the player will annex all possible states and peace treaties, so make sure to do that. Yes, sir. I'm sure I will. So let's go ahead. Yeah, there we go. So we got some nifty little, some new buttons to press. Oh, more or less the same, but they look different, so that's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and research. Let's go support weapons. electronic mechanical engineering, and let's go with construction. Focus-wise, what do we want to go for? Get militarization. Let's work on industrialization. Yeah. Kolchak's autocratic government did almost nothing to develop our country at all during the 1920s. Now we have a distinctly backwater industry, a situation which must be rectified soon. We should start to develop our country step by step. Even our progress is slow, incremental improvement will result in a prosperous country someday. We can hope, at least. So starting off, we got 9 divisions. Let's go ahead, get him a field marshal. Let's go with Grigory Semyonov. And for a general, let's go ahead and give who would be good? Commando, we got organizer, commando, media personality, politically connected, and not the best. Let's go ahead. Let's go with Dmitry Semyonov. Get a little bit of planning bonus. Okay, stats, all things considered, but we can make him better. Eventually. You can help, you know? And then civilian factories. Can't really build shit, actually. So let's just get working on some infrastructure then. Start in Vladivostok and then work from there. And then what else? Production. I mean, that's alright. We can go with that for now. So let's head up to speed 5. Actually, before we do that, let's take a look. We are a puppet of the Empire Japan. Our leader is Alexander Kolchak, once a polar explorer and commander in the Imperial Russian Navy, who had also fought in both the Russo-Japanese War and the Weltkrieg. Kolchak had tried to proclaim himself the supreme ruler of Russia, but failed to garner enough support. His relations with the newly created Russian Republic's government were quite hostile due to the Brest-Litovsk Treaty, which they had agreed to and signed, and had only worsened in 1925 after Kolchak's unsuccessfully coup d'etat against the, quote, German lapdogs. The rogue admiral managed to flee Russia and found shelter in the pro-Japanese state of Transamur. Now an effective puppet state of Tokyo, Kolchak is trying to gather enough power and support to overthrow the government in Petrograd and proclaim himself leader of Russia. So we have Admiral Dictator, which gives us a nifty little bonus to naval doctrine speed. As a former admiral of the Russian Empire, Kolchak pays particular attention in the advances of naval power and technology across the globe. Personal knowledge about warships gives him an advantage in naval research. Anti-Kolchak sentiments, not so nice. Kolchak's regime has few supporters and many haters. Most of liberals are in open opposition to him, while his own generals are not trustworthy. There even is a chance that they will start a coup to overthrow Kolchak. Well, that's not good. Greater Transamur ambitions, more support by 15%. Ever since 1925, the Transamur government has claimed that it is the rightful government of all of Russia, disposed by filthy traitors of Kerensky's cabinet. Although the country is in great shape, its leadership holds hope that one day Transamur might become a major power. And then finally, Japanese influence. The Vladivostok regime has become hopelessly reliant on the Japanese Empire. The tendrils of imperial influence dominate many institutions and aspects of Transamuran society. So we're not in the best position, but since we flat out set it to do so, the Russian Civil War is going to break out sometime soon, and we'll be able to step in and try to, check things out, figure something out. So, let's get going. Continue on. Provisional Russian state in Vladivostok. Siberia and the Russian Civil War had been a major area of conflict during the Russian Civil War, as will the location of a short-lived democratic republic, the rising of a Czech legion, and Japanese intervention. While forced to evacuate their forces due to German pressure as well as intense resistance from local Cossacks, the Japanese remained eager to extend their influence and in 1922 pushed for the establishment of an independent state in the Transamur region. This motion gained the support of the Vladivostok business community, despite the fact it left them vulnerable to forming an economic dependency on Japan. The majority of The business community, however, saw economic and diplomatic relations with the rising power in the East as a significant advantage, especially when compared to the alternative of being stuck further into the disorder besetting the rest of Russia. The new nation gained a prominent figurehead in the form of Alexander Kolchak, one of the more successful white generals of the Civil War and the one-time self-proclaimed supreme ruler of all Russia, who had been forced to flee Russia following his unsuccessful attempt to seize control in 1925. 1936, the Transamur Republic had been a corporate and militaristic state and is politically, economically, and militarily under the thumb of Japanese Empire. And yet Kolchak has ambitions of his own. Could he simply be playing a very dangerous game using the Japanese protection to establish his own rule, first over Siberia and then Russia as a whole? Interesting idea, for sure. But, so we have no manpower, so we're going to have to figure something out. We can modernize equipment. When such as legation powers, we were only granted observer rights on the council. As a legation to drive a failing regime in Moscow and Petrograd was a credible challenge to our legitimacy. So until we, or Petrograd, secures our hold over Russia, we won't really be able to do anything on legation council, which kind of sucks. Kerensky's been shot, who'd have thought? So, we're probably going to want to go down the modernization of equipment, actually. Actually, we'll hold off and see. Really. Okay, let's go ahead. Get a front line on the Ruski border. Just see how things go. Transamur is kind of a rough game because it depends a lot on AI decisions and a fair bit of RNG. Luckily, since you have AI decisions, we can kind of force them to the Civil War to happen. Ooh, our old friend is dead. News of the death of George V, the King of Exile of the United Kingdom, has recently reached the Vladivostok. Once Kolchak's ally, the monarch guaranteed his safety in 1925 until the British Revolution. His son, Edward, has now ascended to the throne in Canada. Although neither Kolchak or Edward know each other personally, this resetting of relations could be the start of a long period of partnership between our countries. We should send an envoy to negotiate for support. I agree. There goes Eddie, King of Canada. Report on King Edward the Eighth meeting. Our envoy has returned with unfortunate news. King Edward VIII has expressed little interest in our cause, to put it mildly. The king said bluntly that we are nothing but a clique of buffoons desperately trying to preserve our rule. He has promised absolutely nothing from the Entente, and our relationship has definitely worsened. That motherfucker! How dare he! Oh, more exiles arrive in Transamur. A long period of political instability in mainland Russia has caused anarchy to erupt in distant parts of Siberia. With the government otherwise occupied, containing instability in the west, it is quite difficult for them to exert real power over this region. People are losing hope in their leaders and fleeing to our country. More and more refugees and exiles are joining our cause. Well, welcome home, brothers. So that's a bit of a loss to authoritarian democracy and more guns, which is nice. So this, the Delegatia, I don't know how you say that. I don't speak Russian, if you can't tell, so I'm going to apologize right off the bat if I butcher any of this. That represents the Japanese influence in the country, so we gotta, just go ahead and make sure that we don't, we're careful. I believe we can go ahead, yeah, we'll have a visit from our masters. We can spend political power to reduce their popularity, and every so many days we'll get more political power and more stability, but we'll also gain more off-them support. The Surrealians have been elected. Okay, Black Monday. So yeah. Austrian Empire withdrawals from Italy. Interesting. We'll see what ends up happening there. Oh, there's the there we go. We have no portrait man. Qing hegemony shattering. Yeah, just generally not too good for Russia, but good for us. Good for real Russia, not good for fake Russia. There we go. So the Civil War, I'm assuming, is going to have to break out sometime soon. Send agitators into Siberia. With the death of Kerensky, the political situation in Russia proper is more chaotic than it has been in recent years. Some of our ministers believe that the opportunity now exists for us to strike again. We should start with sending agents to push our agenda all across the eastern Siberia. If the people hear us, it is inevitable that they will join up with us, bring down the corrupt regime in the west. Send them. Results of our efforts could be variable, and there's no guarantee of success. Recent reports have reached us making clear that our plan to send agitators in Siberia to spread our ideas was effective. A number of people, several of them armed, left their homes for our host. We now have enough additional manpower to reinforce existing divisions. Welcome home, brothers. Alright. So we're working on industrialization. The war has yet to break out. So we're just waiting for that to happen. Oh, the monarchy's been restored. Interesting. And there goes our second Russian Civil War. So we'll see what happens for Canada. Was it Britain who had the Union? Yeah, the Union had kind of a new focus tree, I think. Ooh, Finland versus Russia as well. So they'll be distracted, so they'll probably just go ahead and let things go if we wanted to take some land, I imagine, at least. The Nanjing clique. Not doing too hot. Sichuan just took some land. Guy sees control of Ecuador. Alright, so while they're distracted, let's go ahead and get some learn some lessons from the Amur accident. We've been beaten harshly at the Amur River back in 1935. This defeat could help us to learn about how to deal better with regular Russian troops. I agree. So let's go for it. So that'll be 35 days. And then after that, we'll go ahead and take advantage of Russia being vulnerable. So at some point, we're going to have an anti-Kolchak coup. So we'll go ahead and see, what happens from there. Nanjing clique, First International. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do just because... I don't know. We'll wait and see, really. I'm not going to say anything quite yet. So we're going to have a visit from our masters sometime soon. Get some extra political power. We got the Pope. Pope man's been elected. So we got a little extra political power. So I think we're just going to go ahead and support a little spontaneous anti-Japanese rally. Totally has nothing to do with us. I think if you do timeless badly and the masters come, I think they end up asking you to step down. And if you don't, they go to war with you, which is a little unpleasant, but, we'll figure that out in time. Russia's vulnerable. The Petrograd regime has been too weak to assert direct control past Lake Baikal for a while now, but with the political chaos in Russia, we can make our move. Russia is now in state of war. While they are busy in the west, we can pressure them in the east. We must immediately purge them from our rightful lands. Damn straight. Let's do it, guys. Take a sip of water. So this right here is going to dictate whether you guys are seeing this right now. A couple things are, but this is one of the main things. Match 2. Ooh, Anqing versus the left KMT. That's not good for them. Damn it. Don't go after my man Wang. Support weapons 1. Yeah, shit. They can kind of push back. It's not good for Wang. They don't like Wang. What can we say? Makes sense. I mean, in this timeline, he was a collaborator with Japanese, which by proxy kind of made him a Nazi collaborator. A little bit of a piece of shit, but you know. As dodging it, he kind of just a general piece of shit. What are you gonna do? What's up, Nelson? How you doing, buddy? Currency reserves average. Russia's vulnerable. The Russian government has proven itself unable to maintain the security of its Siberian territories. We've received word that many local leaders want to succeed and join Transamur. There may be international complications, but we may never give us another opportunity like this. Come on, Japan, please. Real quick. Expand industry in Khabarovsk. Please. Say yes. The Japanese government has accepted our proposal and given us a green light to seize the Russian Far East from the illegitimate Russian regime. Let's do this. Now, Russia may go to war with us, which if that's the case, that's no bueno. But if that's not the case, that is bueno. So we just have to wait and see. The so-called Russian government has seemingly accepted the fait accompli in Siberia and have taken no serious military actions against our liberation efforts. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Very smart choice. Now, do we have cores on this? We do. That's nice. I know the more we start taking, the less cores we get. But right now, we have it. We are good. So, we can go ahead. What do we want to do? What do we want to train, mainly? I think these guys... We'll work on these guys for now. Hold off. I'm building that. Set a location here in Vladivostok. And then, yeah. Reclaiming our industry. And just start a lot of 70-day focuses, which is not nice. I will fully admit. That is not very nifty. From here, we could push our claims in the Baikal region, if we so want. How are they doing right now? I mean, they're about to push back the Finns. Dismiss. We'll probably do it right after we expand industry. Anyway, that's besides the point. It's time to stop, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of my content, you should go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concerns, anything of the sort, really, go and leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get, and I appreciate any and all feedback you kind folks might have for me. If you want to support me financially, I have a Patreon down below. You can send a few bucks my way if you are so inclined. If not, I understand, but I appreciate it if you could. I also have a Discord down below if you want to check that out. We can chat, play games, just have a fun old time generally. That's about it, folks. My name has been Doggo333. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.